What's going on, everybody? Just back with another reaction video. Just reacting to something that I believe it was CTV. Yeah, CTV who put this out. Just kind of Pierre Poilievre talking about the upcoming 23% raise in the Justin Trudeau carbon tax starting April 1st. So we'll listen to this and then we'll talk about it after, like usual.
Set to see another hike to the federal carbon tax next month. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has promised to remove the tax if elected, and today he rallied his supporters around that message. CTV's Sean Leathon has the details. Bring it home! Bring it home! Greeted with cheers from thousands of supporters at the Toronto Congress Centre, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre held a rally taking aim at the carbon tax. Axe the tax! Axe the tax! Specifically at a planned rise in the carbon tax that will take effect April 1st. April 1st, April Fool's Day, and with Justin Trudeau and the NDP, the joke is on you. When talking about the carbon tax, Poilievre delivering his message, trying to frame how it would affect everyday Canadians. For the single mom who's trying to take her kids to sports and to school in the morning, who has to drive herself to work, she has no choice. There isn't an electrified train to take her. She can't ride her bicycle 40 kilometers every single day to get to the restaurant where she serves her customers. She will be paying higher direct costs. The room was certainly loud, having an upbeat attitude, something supporters like 26-year-old Tyler Butcher had said.
Feels electric, it feels exciting. This is my first time going to a political rally.
During his speech, Poilievre also took aim at car thefts and what he called liberal journalists in the CBC, with many offering what they see as an appeal from the Conservative leader.
He's one of us. He represents people that are working class. I think he relates to common people. I think he's very likable and straightforward.
He understands the everyday person, and he cares.
Poilievre often joking with the crowd as he was calling on supporters to become involved. Politics is not a spectator sport. It is a participation sport. If you're not at the table, you're on the menu. So you need to be at the table.
Yeah, really.
Polling shows the Conservatives in a national lead. There are no plans for an election anytime soon, but the Conservative leader seems to be generating momentum. Sean Leathon, CTV News.
So that was pretty interesting. Now, when you see these rallies, there's a big difference between when Justin Trudeau gets on a stage and when Pierre Poilievre gets on a stage, right? When Justin Trudeau gets on a stage, there's a lot of people there who are just booing him. They don't like him. They don't like what he's done. There's very low enthusiasm to actually vote for someone like Justin Trudeau. Now, when you look at Pierre Poilievre's rallies, look at what you see. People chanting, people are very united, they're very enthusiastic to actually, vote for someone like Pierre Poilievre, and I completely understand why. It's just like kind of down in the States, there's going to be people who vote for Joe Biden, but the enthusiasm is here. The people who are voting for Trump, their enthusiasm is way up here. There's just way more people who are more enthused by someone like Pierre Poilievre or Donald Trump. Not that they're the same thing, Justin Trudeau or dumb liberal supporters. No, there's a big difference between Pierre Poilievre and Donald Trump, as I've said many times before. But when you look at what's happening in the polls, I heard there was another poll that came out today. By the way, speaking of that, the Conservatives are up. They're up to a 21 or 22 point lead now. Just like every week, it seems like they're just gaining another percentage point or two. It's kind of crazy, but crazy in a good way. And when you see this April 1st, it's like it looming over our heads. Another 23% tax increase. When Canadians are already struggling. And again, Pierre made a great point. Look these people in the eye and tell them that they now have to pay 23% more on a carbon tax, which is going to affect the cost of their food and their fuel. Chrystia Freeland, I ride my bike. Okay, well, if you work 40 kilometers away or more, you can't do that. Also, it snows a lot here in Canada. Not yet this year, but you can't do that. Well, you could walk or rollerblade. No, Not in those kind of conditions. Like they're basically saying, here's a bowl of shit for breakfast and pretend it's Cheerios. Everything's fine. It's like, no, everything's not fine, and you dumbass liberals keep making it worse and worse and worse and worse. And that's why you're seeing the Pierre Poilievre common sense conservatives go up and up in the polls. Trudeau's going down and down, and even the people who do like him, they know he's not great. They just don't like Pierre Poilievre. And I guess there's some people who just really like Justin Trudeau, but those people are very uninformed. Those people are the same people. They're complaining about the problems that we're all complaining about, and then they're still willing to vote for Justin Trudeau like it's not his fault. Very, very weird thing to do, but whatever. It's your vote. It's your choice. You can do what you want. That being said, though, as I said earlier, there's just so many people who are like, I guess Trudeau. I guess the NDP. I don't like Pierre Poilievre, so I'll just vote for the other guys. But then there's so many more people who are like, oh, I love Pierre Poilievre. I love what he's doing. I trust him. He's going to save Canada. He's going to make Canada great again. Now, I'm not all the way up there, right? Like, if here's Pierre Poilievre and here's how people feel about Trudeau, I hate Trudeau, but I'm not sold on Pierre Poilievre just being the savior of Canada. He is still a politician after all. I know there's a lot of people who disagree with that. No, he's a different okay. Show me first. That's all I'm saying. Right? But if he gets in there and things don't start to improve pretty quickly, and he just could, oh yeah, by the way, I am involved with the WEF. Well, you lied about that. You said you weren't. Oh, I used to be, but then I stopped. But then maybe he starts again, or something like that. Or all of a sudden he doesn't drop the taxes and he doesn't start building, smaller family homes instead of these fancy condos or mansions for the rich people. Right? Like if he just starts kind of going back to what Trudeau's doing, a lot of people are going to turn on him, and then we really have nobody. Then it's just a three-way tie for the bottom. It's a three-way tie for third place essentially. So it is very important that Pierre Poilievre follows up and follows up quickly. When he gets to be prime minister, which is almost a guarantee, when that happens, he needs to make sure that he follows through on all of these things. At least. There's other things he could do as well with the whole Ukraine-Russia situation. I'm not going to get into that right now. But there's other things I have issues with. But if he's going to restore the middle class, that's a huge step in the right direction for any politician. And I hope for all of Canada's sake that Pierre Poilievre keeps his word.